There are 5 puffin colonies along the Maine coast. This one is the largest, Machias Seal Island. Get ready to meet Maine's cutest bird. In order to get here, you have to meet this guy, Captain Andy Patterson.
Our destination this morning is a small rocky island about 9.5 nautical miles due south. We're taking this group, Corey and I, 10 miles out to sea, that way.
Bold Coast Charter Company is the only American boat allowed to land on Machias Seal Island. Another boat does come over here from Grand Manan, New Brunswick, and that's it. 2 boats. It's the only way to get here. After leaving Cutler Harbor and steaming past Little River Light, it takes about 45 minutes to get to the island. It's small, just 15 acres, all rock, no trees. As you get close, you'll start to see many puffins, razorbills, and common murres loafing in the water or buzzing around the boat. As you get closer, the sheer quantity of birds in the rocks is astounding. You might notice the Canadian flag flying. This island is disputed territory. After the Revolutionary War, and again after the War of 1812, the 2 sides agreed where the boundary was, but didn't draw the line out far enough to include this island. But the British built the first lighthouse in 1832, and then the second one later, and finally this third one in 1914. So the Canadian Coast Guard staffs the island. There's no real argument about that. Any real territorial disputes are over who gets to fish for lobsters around it. This is the hardest part of the entire journey. You have to take a small skiff from the big boat over to this slender walkway. There are helpful hands to pull you out, but sometimes the tide and the wind just doesn't cooperate. Most of the time it does, sometimes it doesn't. From there, everyone gathers by the lighthouse and then divides up into 4 blinds. The puffins are used to this. They know you're in there. They're used to people coming and going. So long as you don't do anything stupid, they'll walk right up to you. You can hear them pitter-pat right on the roof above your head. Puffins aren't the only birds out here. This is also the biggest colony for their cousins, the razorbills and common murres, all members of the alcid family. They all get along just fine. I mean, what choice do they have? It's so crowded out here. So why this island? It's far enough out to sea that land-based predators can't swim to it. No nocturnal visits from flying great horned owls. Bald eagles and peregrine falcons get out here, but at least that's in the daylight and they can see them coming. More importantly, it's usually got common and Arctic terns all over it. Nesting terns get pretty riled up by unwelcome guests. When they get mad, puffins get air cover. Puffins have their own private air force. There are more Arctic terns out here than common terns. They can be a little tough to tell apart of the air, but when you get this close, you can see the all-red bill, the really short legs, and the tail that's longer than the wings on the Arctic tern. One good tern deserves another. All these birds nest out here, and each pair lays only 1 egg. Razorbills and murres lay that 1 egg in a scrape on top of the rocks. Puffins lay that egg in a burrow between the boulders. Puffins have toenails that allow them to dig out soil and improve the hole. The chick won't come out of this hole until it's old enough to go to sea. They don't really land in the rocks. It's more like a controlled crash. And they're pretty clumsy walking on the land, too. Visit a puffin colony in early June. You're likely to see loafing, courtship, maybe a little nest building. If you want that iconic photo of a puffin with fish in its mouth, visit in July when the chicks are hatched and hungry. By mid-August, the puffins are leaving their islands and heading out to sea. Once there, they can float off anywhere into open ocean between Greenland and Bermuda. The razorbills and the murres get a head start on the puffins. They start about 2 weeks earlier, and they end about 2 weeks earlier. So by the beginning of August, most of them have started to leave the island. It's the father of both species that takes the chick to sea. The razorbills and murres don't go as far away either, and these guys can sometimes get close to the mainland. You can sometimes see them from shore. The puffins in Maine are very seldom seen from the mainland. A lot of people are surprised at how small the puffins are. Folks come out here thinking they're going to see penguins. but puffins are smaller than pigeons and a whole lot cuter. The razorbills and murres are just a little bigger. There are other birds out here. There are bushes that conceal the gray catbirds, and savanna sparrows are so used to people that they'll walk under your feet waiting for you to drop sandwich crumbs. Try not to step in one. Atlantic puffins and Machias Seal Island. If you like them, like them. And if you want to go along with me on more adventures, just hit the subscribe button. And about 90 miles from here, there's another one, Seal Island, not to be confused with Machias Seal Island, and you can see all about that right here. The end.